All right, so we are in Intermediate Accounting 1. I am Derek. We'll go through that in a minute. So I'm on Zoom today because the Panetteria didn't work. I will get that fixed. We'll figure out how to get my laptop attached. Luckily this week is kind of planned just to kind of do an intro, meet each other, get the syllabus. There's going to be 2 long-term projects that we'll get to. Probably won't get to that until our Wednesday session. Yes.
Is this FYS or is this
Financial accounting, intermediate.
okay? Thank you.
All right. Apparently they had some scheduling conflict. Luckily I got here first, so we're in the right spot. So with that in mind, so I am an adjunct professor, so it's probably going to be a little bit different than what normal academic professors will go through during a class. My goal as an adjunct professor is to give y'all a little bit different career option paths. So personally, I've been in the field for about 10 years now. I've done Big Four accounting, done consulting. Right now I'm doing financial accounting for a large engineering firm. So with that, I've gotten a little bit more of a hands-on knowledge, not just figuring out what accounting is, but why is it important, what does it do. I've made make or break decisions for big companies based off the accounting. I just finished a process this year where we had to completely redo the budget. So we purchased a company that doubled us in size, and then we started to squeeze the overhead out of it. So with accounting, my job was to go through and figure out this is how much we spent, this is how many people that we're using it to spend that on, and figure out how to squeeze back to the bottom line. So at the end of the day, the numbers that I created actually hired and fired different people from that. So that's kind of the goal here, not that that's the only decision that accounting will make, but as you start thinking of yourselves in a future career path, I'm here to kind of give you a little bit more of a guidance on what those career paths might be, whether you want to go with the public accounting, Big Four. I have some friends that are also in a lot of different areas of the industry. So kind of keep that in mind as we're going through this class of why they brought in an adjunct instead of just your normal. So from what I understand, this is the first accounting class after you've made the decision to be either an accounting or finance major. So this time I'd kind of like to go around the room. I know it's corny, but that's the only way I'm going to get to know y'all. Say your name. Give me an adjective that starts with the first letter of your name. So my name's Derek. I go with determined. That's kind of my personality. If I decide something, I'm going to do it. And I've already given my intro. So anybody want to start? And also tell me why you chose either accounting or finance. Let's start on this side. No. Go ahead. Okay, curious Kate, okay. So why'd you choose finance? Real estate? All right. Anybody? We don't have to go in order. There's a small class, so y'all are gonna have to start talking this semester. Sorry, let's get it out the way. Just numbers? You're in the wrong field. Anybody else? Creative Clara?
And I like dealing with money.
All right. Not bad, not bad.
My name is Eric. Can't think of what I have to do on my head. But I'm a science major. And I just chose it because I do, like my part-time, I do a lot of selling and stuff. And
All right. No adjective? Got it. Easy? Easy? Easy, Eric, okay. Who's that?
Adjective about the junior. Then I chose accounting because it gives you a fundamental understanding of everything that goes on. It's a business operated or economic operated world, so whatever you choose.
Sorry, what was the name?
Jamila.
Jamila and Junior?
Yeah.
Junior. All right. Thank you. All right.
I'm patient. I'm a finance major. I'll say a persistent. I just finance because my mom used to own a small business, but she was terrible at managing her finances, and I always wanted to figure that out for her. So, yeah.
All right. Makes sense.
Then I'm a finance major. I say brash because I don't think before I do things.
All right. Rashbin. And what'd you choose finance for?
Um, I don't think it's pretty hard. I like working with money.
So money and numbers, like I said, I would like to tell you that all I do all day is numbers, but in reality, and accounting and finance is definitely built on numbers. But we've kind of gotten past that stage. And what you'll see in the industry today is that any of those jobs that your typical bean counter would go through that are entering this number or doing that data, as the whole, the United States has kind of shipped that off. The jobs that you're going to be out there competing against are going to be more people focused. And we'll get to that in the kind of the homework assignments, but the key to that is that, yes, we're focused on the numbers, and yes, we will always use the numbers to support what we do, but your job is going to be out there explaining those numbers to engineers, to scientists, to doctors, whatever industry that you're going to go into. You're going to have to be able to connect to those people and get them to understand numbers that they don't understand because they're not in this class, or they might have taken one of the classes. But the key is to be able to put it in terms that they're going to understand. Like your mom going out of business, you know, and in order to talk to them, they're not going to be the ones wanting to bean count, okay? So we're going to have to explain to them, hey, I need you to pull up a little bit financial accounting.
This is the Hinton building.
From what I'm told, yes.
This is room 126.
Yeah, apparently there was a scheduling conflict. There was a big group of people saying it was JIS or something like that. FYS.
Yeah.
I got here first, so I don't know where they went.
You FYS or
FYS. Okay, so on the slides, you'll see the rest of my resume. You'll see my email address. Today's passcode is going to be Accounting Zen. With that not really working, you can see, this is why I chose accounting. It's what's called the Accounting Zen. All debits equal credits. Sorry, y'all know what I'm doing. What that means is that, as y'all know in principal accounting, everything you do to one side of the trial balance, you have to do to the other. That's what's kind of kept me focused. Most of my job, for a lot of the time, was reconciling large transactions of data and figuring out why this balance was still there. And the easiest way to do that is figure out, well, what was the other side of the entry? You know, if there's something on the asset side, there had to have been a credit going to the liabilities of the equity. So that's why I like it, because at the end of the day, none of our problems are so big that they can't be solved. They just need a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease, figuring out what it is. There we go. So a little bit, because of COVID, y'all should have already figured out Mondays are for A through K, Wednesdays are for L through Z. If at any time you don't feel comfortable coming to class, no big deal. There's a survey on the blackboard. You just go in there and change your answer. Whether or not you're here, you'll still have to go and enter in that passcode through Blackboard. So y'all already have that code. There's going to be an assignment listed. Y'all have till Sunday to just go in, and that marks your attendance for today. If you tell me accounting's in, I know you listened to this lecture, we're good to go. Same thing for Wednesday, there'll be a different passcode, everything on that. Fridays will be an optional Zoom. So at this time, I'll be on my Zoom meeting. You do not have to attend. It's more for those that are strictly online that want a real-time face-to-face interaction. But that doesn't mean you can't go to that just because you're here. Just letting you know that that's what it's there for. If you have any questions as we go through it.
Question.
Yes.
So on Wednesday, since we're not going to be here, are we logging into at the same time?
No, no. So I'm only using Zoom right now because I couldn't get the same thing that everybody else is working on to work. Hopefully we'll have the technical issues figured out, but the videos usually take an hour or two, maybe depending on the network. It could be even later tonight when the video actually gets posted. So you have until Sunday at midnight to watch the video, figure out the code, and enter in your submission. Okay, and so that's either days, whether you're here or not, whether you're supposed to be here or not, you have until midnight to enter in that passcode. But yeah, please stop me at any time if y'all have any questions as we go through this. As we start getting into the details, it won't be much fun if y'all don't talk. Sorry? Today it's accounting Zen. The reason why I didn't like this. All right, sorry the slides aren't working. So y'all's textbook is the Intermediate Accounting 16 edition Wiley Binder version. Big, thick textbook like this. I do intend for y'all to need to read, and there will be homework assignments out of that. I was a student once, so if you feel like sharing it with someone, if you get an online version, I'm not picky. Like I said, there will be homework assigned to the back of the chapter, and you will need to read the chapters before. Other than that, we'll go through that.
Sorry.
Mhm.
So you don't need the access code?
You do not need an access code. The instructor that was set up before me apparently changed the code, but I thought we had gotten all of those out of the library in time. But there is no access code. All of the homeworks are going to be manual. And all that. All right. So your grade, it's equal homework assignments, 20%, midterm is 20%. All of this is on the syllabus. It's also on the slide. So, but homework assignments are 20%, midterm is 20%, final is 20%, team project is 20%, and your attendance and participation is 20%. We have the normal 10-point grading scale. So as we get into the grading, I will let you know, so the homework and the attendance, you're gonna get multiple points, and there's gonna be extra points assigned to it. You can only get 20% for your final grade. So if you go through the next two slides, you'll see the calendar. I'm sorry you can't see this, but basically there's a homework assignment every week that we have a chapter, and there's 3 attendance and participations, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Each of those are going to be worth 10 points for the attendance and 20 points for the homework. But at the end of the day, you're only going to be able to get 20% for your max grade. So what that means is it's designed for you to miss a day if you're that sick you can't even get in. If you didn't do too well on one, or whatever the reason, I don't care. You're only going to get 20%. So homework assignments, you have a possibility of getting up to 240 points. You're going to divide that by 200, max of 20%. Attendance and participation, you'll get 370 points, max of 300, 20%. Is that any questions on that? That kind of makes sense? And again, if you get 2 points on every one, that's fine. If you want to not do one completely, that's up to you. Midterms and finals. So the midterm and final have yet to be rewritten. I get to do that, and I will do that based off of our class discussions. I will tell you that at this stage, most of it, so that there will be multiple choice, there will be just to get your facts straight. But what I'm going to be looking for is going to be more of a little bit of a discussion. Why are these facts important? As we go through the text, you'll learn everything that we talk about at this point has already been discussed in principles. So you should already have the basics of the facts. This class is trying to complicate those facts and figure out, okay, yeah, you have cash, but what about cash in foreign currencies? What do you do if you're not planning on using that cash? At every chapter, we're going to go into a little bit more in depth of what we've talked about already. So at this point, you should know the language. Now we're going to start talking and figuring out what the meaning of those words are. So the midterm and the final are going to be focused more on those type of questions. They'll be posted online. You'll have the entire week. We won't meet for the class periods so you'll see the calendar is completely blacked out for the midterm and final. Y'all know your academic integrity code. So I don't expect y'all to cheat off of each other. That said, I don't care if you use your books during that time, any notes. My job is Googling a lot of these financial records. So if you're able to do it, if I'm able to do it, I think you should be able to do it. The key is, can you turn those facts and figures into a cohesive thought and use it appropriately? That's what I'll be testing on. And the cohesive, like I said, people talk. So anything you turn into me, and I'm making this very clear, anything you turn into me, treat it as if you're turning it into a boss who determines your paycheck, okay? I need it professional. I'm testing to make sure that when you go out into the world, you're gonna be able to talk. So keep the slang out of it. Make sure you use proper punctuation. Can you get your thought and goals across? Okay. And that's with the intro post too. So some of y'all might want to go back and think of that thought. Okay. Like I said, still, you can still have fun, but still be professional about it, is what I mean. Okay. Make sure that you're following directions. There should have been a picture attached, those type of things. Again, just put yourself in the mindset of, I'm submitting this to my boss. Will my boss pay me for this work? Okay. And I'll pay you with your grade. Any questions up at this point? I know I'm talking pretty fast. I think we got through all of what we wanted to get through already, so I'll try to slow down next time. Yes, because the introduction post is your Friday grade. The discussion board is your Friday participation. So going back to attendance and participation, you get 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, and your discussion board on Friday. So yeah, so that and again, it'll be divided by 300 points total, and you get a max of 300, a max of 20% for your final grade. Any other questions, comments? Feeling excited?
Will the discussions be available before Friday, or are you going to post it at Friday?
Everything will be up and ready the Sunday before class starts, and so you'll have the entire 7 days. And by Sunday, it might be midnight, sometimes 3 a.m. Monday morning. But by the time you wake up Monday, you'll be there. It just depends on how much my day job gets to me. Questions, comments? Anybody trying to see if they can change majors? Okay. Okay, so then we're going to get to your group project. Another assignment that's due this week because of your group project is figure out who your teams are and give me 3 options in order of your preference for what your subject should be. So the subjects you can choose based off the chapters. So I'm looking for cash, inventory, PP&E, intangible assets, any asset that has a financial accounting standard, that can be your subject. The group itself, you'll be in groups of 3 or 4. Because of COVID, because of everybody's situation, I'm letting y'all decide who y'all's groups are.
We choose like people that are in the B section of this stuff.
If that's your choice. Again, just think about how you're going to meet, when you're going to meet, those type of considerations. So if you're only on campus on Mondays, it might be better to pick somebody on a Monday, but I'm letting y'all make that decision. Okay, by Sunday, I need everybody to submit, and everybody has to submit, so I know, one, y'all agree with each other, but I can give you an individual grade. Once y'all make y'all's teams, I can put those in the Blackboard, and y'all only submit one group going forward. Okay, so you're choosing your subject, and then the group project is going to be kind of role-playing as if you're part of the FASB and ISB Convergent project, which we'll get into in chapter 1. But what that means is that, and again, you should have already touched base with principles, is the fact that the United States does one way of accounting regulations and the entire world does another. Literally the entire world does one and we do another, if you want to get to the political part of it. And because of that, there's some differences. Now, those differences aren't as pronounced as they were when I was in college because of this convergence project. So if you happen to pick a subject where everything already agrees with each other, that's fine. You can still figure out, make a recommendation, or figure out what did gap change at that time. I'll let y'all make that decision. But the idea is for y'all to pick that asset, go through the gap standards, go through the IFRS standards, figure out, make a presentation about what the similarities are, what the differences are, and come up with a recommendation on if we were to combine and go to one standard, what would that standard be for that asset? Make sense? Questions? Should be relatively fun, a little bit of a research, and as you all pick your topics and go through it, we'll talk. The deliverable, so you're gonna get 50 points just for submitting your thing today by the end of Sunday. You're gonna get 50 points for your peer reviews, and what that means is the other 3 members of your group will give you up to 10 points, and then if you do that assignment, I'm gonna give you 20 points. Now, there's gonna be some modification there because you're not gonna be able to just give everybody 10 points. I haven't figured out exactly what, but you'll have a certain amount of points that you have to allocate, just so I can know y'all can be fair, because otherwise you're just gonna give everybody 10 points. So, just kidding. I've been in group projects before, and that it never works out where everybody's 100%. So if you come to me and tell me that everybody deserves 100%, then yeah, that's not gonna happen. The rough draft is worth 100 points. It'll be due the week of the midterm, and the final is gonna be due the week of Thanksgiving. Now, I don't plan for y'all to work during Thanksgiving. I'm telling y'all the project now, so that way y'all have the entire semester basically. So I don't want anybody complaining that they're having to do financial accounting instead of eat turkey, but any questions on the group project? Okay. You won't really have much in class to discuss on it. That's going to be kind of on your own. I'll let y'all figure out, but those are the only due dates. Is everybody has to give me a rough draft. At that point, I'll go through, make comments, figure out if you're on the right stage, give it back, and then you'll have until the Thanksgiving to finalize it.
Are we presenting to the class or?
At this point, it's just going to be submitted to me, just because of the fact that, yeah. Now, what I'll probably do is open up a discussion board for the final ones to go through, and then maybe make part of the peer reviews, commentaries and stuff like that. This is my first time doing it, so we'll kind of see how it works out. But at this point, we can't present it to the class just because, again, half of y'all might be in a different day session, things like that. So, all right, so that's about all the slides that I plan on getting through today. So I definitely need to go slower, and y'all need to ask more questions. So, any last minute comments, suggestions? A total of 4. So you can be 3 or 4. I'll let y'all choose.
What was that code for again? The accounting sim?
That's it. So every day you're going to have a passcode, whether you're here or not. You'll need to go into Blackboard, find the Monday passcode, and just type that in as the submission. So that that just tells me that you were here or that you watched the video online. I'm not actually taking attendance, so even if you're here, I still need you to go and do that. Any other questions?
You said this week on Sunday for the group project, you just need to know the names of the people in our group and which topic we're going to
Pick 3 and put them in your order of preference. Okay, so that way, if y'all end up choosing the same one, I'll go through there, and by Monday, I'll tell you what your topic is. Hopefully, y'all choose something. If everybody puts cash, then I can't give you all cash. So, you can go off the chapters to figure out text, but any asset. This class is all about assets. Financial intermediate 2 will be about liabilities and equity. So any major asset class you can choose. Okay. Alrighty, there will be an extra credit assignment. We'll be give you up to 5% of your total grade. Wednesday's class will kind of go through what that is. It won't be due until the Thanksgiving week. So that'll be Wednesdays, going through what that assignment is and talking about it. So that's all I have. I'll stick around if y'all have any questions that y'all need one-on-one. There is a discussion board online just for questions. So if you think the class will benefit from the answer, feel free to use that. You have my email. I can jump into a Zoom call at any time. So yeah. Other than that, y'all have a good day.